Niagara-on-the-Lake today owes much of its creation to the American War of Independence, which lasted from 1775 to 1783. During those 8 years, Fort Niagara, across the river in Youngstown, New York, was a key British and Loyalist base. They were used for operations against the rebel colonies of New York and Pennsylvania. John Butler was Deputy Superintendent of the British Indian Department, based at Fort Niagara. In 1775, his job was to help coordinate Loyalist forces and native allies to fight alongside the British regulars. His regiment was known as Butler's Rangers. They were Loyalists of Germanic, Dutch, African, and British descent. He created what would become one of the most effective and guerrilla forces in the British Army during the Revolution. They became legendary. Fort Niagara provided a haven for escaping families, both native and Loyalist. Nearly 5,000 of them came to Niagara. But supplies were limited, and the British commander had to feed not only his soldiers, but also a growing number of refugees. John Butler looked across the river to what is now Niagara-on-the-Lake. The earth was rich, there was water, there was land to cultivate. All it needed was the men to build homes and plant the crops. And Butler had the men. In a massive exodus, nearly 80,000 Americans became refugees, most of them loyal to the Crown. The British government offered land and security to those who wanted to be here, and the refugees kept coming, with nothing but their skills and knowledge. Settlements began to grow throughout the Niagara Peninsula, particularly round the promising waters of 4 Mile Creek. One of the earliest settlers was David Seacord. He built a saw and gristmill, and soon St. David's, named in his honor, was a respectable community. Further down 4 Mile Creek, the Servos family established their King's Mill. To the south were neighbors George Lawrence and Castle Chorus. There were the Seacords, the Lowrys, the Clements, the Balls, the Gorings, the Butlers, and the Chryslers. They built, they planted, and they grew villages. Hard-working farmers, merchants, and families, multi-ethnic, multi-racial, and multi-religious. The communities would become St. David's, Queenston, Lawrenceville, and Newark. In time, Lawrenceville became Virgil, and Newark became Niagara. The village of Queenston became a hub of marine transportation thanks to the vision of Robert Hamilton. He portaged and distributed all manner of goods, from furs and fruit to whiskey and the mail. His son Alexander would build Willowbank, the neo-classical beauty that still stands today overlooking the village. The Niagara River was the key to Niagara's early success. It provided ease of transportation for goods, people, and culture. The portage routes opened up the Great Lakes and the riches beyond. Niagara was a place of beauty and temperate climate. The British considered it a fine place to be the first capital of Upper Canada, and in 1792 it became just that.